Hello and welcome. Today we're going to plug into the most sophisticated network on the entire planet, the one that's running inside your body right now. We are talking about the high-speed electrical grid that powers every single thought, feeling, and action you have. So let's jump right in.
I want you to think about the last time you really pushed yourself. Maybe you went for a run or hit the gym hard. You feel it everywhere, don't you? Your heart is just pounding in your chest, you're breathing hard, and your muscles are basically screaming for more oxygen. So how on earth does your body manage all of that at the exact same time?
Well, the answer comes down to one simple but incredibly powerful idea: coordination. It's the secret sauce, the magic behind how your body performs these unbelievably complex tasks where everything just works together in perfect sync.
So what is coordination, really? Well, it's the process where different organs, like your lungs, your heart, and your muscles, all team up. They interact with each other and they complement each other's jobs. When you exercise, your muscles are desperate for more energy, more oxygen. So your heart gets the message and starts beating faster to pump more blood. At the same time, your lungs breathe deeper to pull in more oxygen. It's the ultimate teamwork, all to keep your body in a stable, balanced state, a condition scientists call homeostasis. You can think of it like your body's internal thermostat, always working to keep things just right.
Okay, but how do all these different parts know when to speed up or slow down? How do they talk to each other so fast? They communicate through this highly organized, point-to-point network that gives them lightning-fast coordination. The best way to think about it, it's your body's very own high-speed internet, the neural system. And the fundamental unit of this whole system, the single fiber optic cable carrying all that data, is this amazing, highly specialized cell. Everybody meet the neuron. These tiny microscopic structures are the messengers, and they are built to do one thing really well: detect, receive, and transmit all kinds of different signals all over your body.
Let's break down this little marvel. A neuron has three main parts. First up, you've got the cell body. That's the command center, the main hub. Then you have these branching fibers called dendrites. Think of them as the receivers. Their whole job is to collect signals and bring them in toward the cell body. And finally, you have the axon. This is a single long fiber that acts as the transmitter, sending messages away from the cell body and onto the next neuron in the chain.
Okay, so that's the structure. But the real magic, the really cool part, is in how it works. How does a message actually travel down this tiny biological wire? I mean, what does a message inside your body even look like?
The answer is pure electricity. A nerve impulse isn't some chemical just lazily floating along. No, it's a tiny, powerful, and unbelievably fast electrical surge that literally travels down the length of the neuron.
So how in the world does a tiny cell create an electrical surge? It happens in this fantastic four-act play. First, you have the resting state. The neuron is polarized, meaning it's worked hard to create an electrical difference between the inside and the outside. It's charged up, ready to go, like a loaded spring. Then, bam, a stimulus arrives. A signal triggers the membrane, and in a flash, special gates fly open, allowing positive sodium ions to rush into the cell. This flood of positive charge completely reverses the polarity. The inside becomes positive, the outside becomes negative. This flip is called depolarization. But it doesn't last long. Just as quickly, the neuron hits the reset button. The sodium gate slams shut, and other gates open to let potassium ions rush out, restoring the original charge, getting it ready to fire all over again in a fraction of a second.
Now that whole dramatic sequence we just walked through, that rapid-fire reversal and reset of electrical charge, that has a name. Scientists call it an action potential. And this brilliant wave of electrical change, this action potential, is the nerve impulse. It's the message itself, racing down the axon.
Okay, so this electrical wave is flying down the axon. But here's a problem. Neurons don't actually touch each other. There's a gap. So how does a purely electrical signal jump across empty space to deliver its message to the next cell? It can't, right? This junction where two neurons almost meet is called the synapse. And that microscopic fluid-filled gap between them is called the synaptic cleft. An electrical current can't just leap across that. The message has pretty much hit a roadblock. So the body needs a completely different strategy here. And the strategy is absolutely ingenious. To get across that gap, the body performs an incredible switcheroo. It temporarily changes the message from an electrical signal into a chemical one. So here's how it works. When that electrical action potential reaches the very end of the axon, it triggers the release of these special chemicals called neurotransmitters. These chemicals flood that tiny gap,
travel across and lock onto receptors on the next neuron like a key in a lock. And that connection, it triggers a brand new electrical signal in that next neuron, and the message continues on its way. The handoff is complete.
Now, zoom way out with me for a second. Take that one little process, that firing and chemical handoff, and multiply it by trillions. Trillions of these neurons and synapses, all firing and communicating, form the vast, unbelievably complex communication grid that is your neural system.
Now, this entire grid is basically broken down into two main departments. First, you have the central neural system, or the CNS. This is the brain and the spinal cord. Think of it as the command center, where all the information is processed and all the big decisions are made. Then you have the peripheral neural system, the PNS. These are all the other nerves in your body, and they act like network cables, connecting the command center to every single outpost, every finger and toe.
And this PNS network isn't a one-way street. It's a busy, two-way highway. You've got afferent fibers, which are sensory nerves. They carry signals to the CNS. For instance, they're the ones that scream to your brain, hey, you just touched something hot. Then you have the efferent fibers, which are motor nerves. They carry commands from the CNS back out to the body. They're the ones that carry the order from the brain that says, pull your hand away now.
And right at the very heart of this whole system, the ultimate processor, the main server running the entire show, sits the single most complex and incredible structure that we know of anywhere in the universe.
The human brain. It is the central information processing organ of our body. It is, without a doubt, the command and control system for everything we've been talking about. Let's do a super quick tour. The brain itself has three major regions. You've got the forebrain, which contains the huge cerebrum. This is where your higher functions live, all your thoughts, memories, emotions. Then there's the midbrain, which helps integrate all the sensory information coming in. And the hindbrain takes care of a lot of the vital, automatic stuff you don't think about, like your balance, your breathing, and your heart rate. And this really just sums up the incredible scope of its job. Your brain isn't just a calculator. It's the site for processing absolutely everything that makes you, you. Vision, hearing, speech, memory, intelligence, emotions, and thoughts. It's all in there. So, let's bring it all the way back to where we started. That simple decision to go for a run, it starts as a single thought in your forebrain. That thought becomes an action potential, an electrical signal that zips across billions of synapses. It becomes a cascade of commands fired from your CNS down through your PNS, telling your heart to beat faster, your lungs to breathe deeper, and your legs to start moving. This entire incredible electric network makes it all happen. We've seen how this amazing network controls every single thing you do, think, and feel. It is the master puppeteer of your entire body. Which, of course, leaves us with one last pretty deep question to chew on. What then is controlling the network?